Serena Sugden made her Emmerdale debut after discovering Charity in a distressed state and quickly realizing she had been sexually assaulted. She then recognized Sarah from a previous family event, confirming that she was connected to the Sugden family. Soon afterwards, Serena introduced herself to Robert and even started helping out with shifts behind the bar at the Woolpack. As Charity brought her up to speed with everything happening in the village, Serena found herself caught in the middle. She became a trusted confidant for Charity, while also keeping the secret about Charity's baby from her cousin Sarah. Now living at the farm with Robert and Aaron, Serena has repeatedly questioned people about her cousin John, who has a history as a serial killer. Aaron, still carrying the emotional scars from his own experiences with John, has been far from comfortable with her presence. The mystery deepened further when Kev claimed he recognized Serena from somewhere. He wondered whether they had crossed paths during his time in prison, but Serena immediately dismissed the suggestion, insisting he had the wrong person and encouraging him to forget about it. Her reaction only made the encounter seem even more suspicious. Although some viewers believe Serena could be following in John's footsteps, others think she isn't necessarily a villain. Instead, they are convinced she is concealing an important secret. One theory gaining traction among fans is that Serena is actually a journalist researching John for a book. Supporters of the idea believe it would explain why she has been so eager to question everyone since arriving in the village. Sharing their thoughts on X, one viewer wrote, "Either Serena is writing a book about John, or the two of them share the same mother." Another fan questioned, "Is Serena secretly writing a book, or is she actually a journalist?" A third person commented, "She's definitely hiding something. I suggested she was a journalist the other day because of how many questions she was asking Claudette." Claudette Anderson has also found herself at the center of Serena's curiosity, giving viewers even more reason to believe there is another motive behind her arrival. As suspicion continues to build, fans are closely analyzing Serena's every move, convinced her appearance in the village is far from coincidental. Whether she is hiding a troubled past or investigating John for another reason entirely, viewers are certain there is much more to discover. Many fans now believe they have figured out Serena Sugden's secret, with most theories leading straight back to John Sugden. Since arriving in the village, Serena has shown an unusual fascination with John, and Kev's claim that he recognized her has only intensified speculation about her true identity and intentions. The big question remains, is Serena genuinely who she claims to be, or is she carrying out a carefully planned mission? For many Emmerdale viewers, the answer already seems obvious. Emmerdale viewers have voiced their frustration after learning that Dr. Todd is set to be murdered instead of facing justice. The latest episode of the ITV soap ended with a flash-forward revealing that Dr. Todd will soon be killed by an unknown attacker. The ruthless surgeon returned to the village earlier this year as part of a storyline in which she relentlessly targeted and bullied local doctor Jacob Sugden. Not long after helping Charity Dingle deliver baby Layla, Dr. Todd uncovered the truth that the child was not actually Jacob and Sarah Sugden's daughter. She then used that secret to blackmail Charity, making her life increasingly difficult. On Sarah's 21st birthday, Dr. Todd sexually assaulted Charity, leaving her traumatized. Following the attack, Charity reported the assault to the police and later gave a formal statement to detectives. When officers questioned Dr. Todd the following day, she insisted the encounter had been consensual. With no physical evidence available to support the allegation, police were unable to charge her, allowing her to leave the village and continue working in Sheffield. This week, Mackenzie Boyd confronted Dr. Todd after discovering what she had done to Charity, promising that she would eventually pay for her actions. Hospital security removed Mackenzie from the premises after Dr. Todd raised the alarm. Before leaving, he warned her that if she ever threatened Charity again, he would make sure she regretted it. Soon afterwards, viewers were shown Dr. Todd lying lifeless in a pool of blood. The revelation that Dr. Todd has been murdered sparked a strong reaction from many Emmerdale fans. On Metro's soap's Facebook page, numerous viewers criticised the storyline, arguing that it would have been far more satisfying to see the character prosecuted and sent to prison. One fan wrote that although the storyline was dramatic, soaps should occasionally show abusers being convicted because it gives real-life victims hope that justice is possible and encourages them to report crimes. Another viewer agreed, saying soap operas should focus more on showing proper legal justice rather than repeatedly killing off villains, as it could inspire survivors to come forward. A third fan echoed the same view, expressing disappointment that another antagonist had been written out through murder instead of facing the consequences of their crimes in court. Others shared similar opinions, arguing that characters such as Dr. Todd and John continue to avoid true accountability, undermining important messages about speaking out. Another viewer commented that offenders should be arrested instead of being killed, pointing out that these crimes have real-life consequences and deserve realistic outcomes. One more fan questioned why so many villains are simply written out through death rather than imprisonment, saying the repeated formula feels unrealistic. Once Dr. Todd's body is discovered, the investigation is expected to leave several villagers under suspicion. Among the most likely suspects are Mackenzie, Charity, Jacob, and Sarah, all of whom had strong motives. However, the list of potential killers could also include Vanessa Woodfield, Kane Dingle, Chas Dingle, Ross Barton, Noah Dingle, Ryan Stocks, and Serena Sugden. Kyle Winchester has been left heartbroken after learning a painful truth about his late mother in Emmerdale. The young boy has been struggling to cope with his emotions in recent weeks and has been expressing his anger by deliberately setting fires around Emmerdale Farm. His actions were eventually uncovered by Graham Foster, who noticed smoke rising after Kyle set fire to his car. As Kyle opened up about his frustration over Robert Sugden taking over his home and his fears surrounding Kane Dingle's cancer diagnosis, Graham realized the youngster's behavior was driven by emotional pain rather than simple mischief. Wanting to help, he stepped in to offer guidance and support. Over time, Graham became an important mentor to Kyle. He encouraged him to join the cadets and regularly offered advice on how to deal with difficult emotions in a healthier way. A watch Graham had gifted Kyle became the center of attention during the latest episode. After spotting his son wearing it, Kane questioned where it had come from, initially assuming it had been stolen. Kyle explained that Graham had given him the watch, leaving both Kane and Moira Dingle puzzled by the revelation. When Kyle refused to explain any further, Kane headed to Home Farm to confront Graham directly. There, Graham admitted that he had been supporting Kyle after recognizing that the youngster was struggling emotionally. Rather than focusing on Kyle's well-being, Kane became suspicious of Graham's sudden interest in his son. Convinced there was more to the story, he refused to leave until Graham told him the full truth. Graham eventually revealed that Kyle had been responsible for the recent fires. Despite Kane's angry accusations that he had no right to act like a substitute parent, Graham remained calm and tried to avoid escalating the confrontation. Back at Wishingwell, Kane's temper flared again when Kyle defended Graham, insisting he had been kind and supportive and was nothing like the other people connected to Home Farm. Determined to put an end to the friendship, Kane told Kyle he would no longer be allowed to see Graham. When Kyle demanded an explanation, Kane revealed that Graham continues to protect the man responsible for Amy's death. In upcoming episodes, Kyle is set to travel to Home Farm himself in search of answers from Joe about exactly what happened to his mum. Emmerdale airs on ITV1 every weekday at 8 p.m. Episodes are also available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.